Gentlemen, welcome to the Manish Bar. My name is G. I'm a lot more mellower than your stereotype of a rap kind of fella. I come across smooth out like butter without the yellow. A beautiful brown tone blessing you with mad crazy knowledge whispers in your eardrums. On a mission and a commission to spread the word and talk to brothers, encourage brothers. This is the place and the space where men talk, men discuss, men live life out loud. Welcome to the Manish Bar. Fellas, yes, cigar and sips moment. Nothing like it, right? Like a good stick by the fireplace, relaxing out here, enjoying the Copper Fox. And we got my man, Jeff, joining us today.
Good afternoon.
Yes, excited to have you here, Jeff.
Awesome.
You know, he's going to talk to us about homeopathic stuff today, y'all. In mental health, you know, this episode really, we just wanted to make sure that we discuss mental health and men's health,
right?
Period. And its effect on us during the COVID and beyond, but just what we can do to take care of our bodies and make sure that we don't have overly built up toxins and we're able to purge those things from our bodies and make healthy, conscious decisions as men. Y'all know I'm big on making sure that if no other time, I'm big on making sure that you do all of your annual checkups as men during your birthday month. Make it a gift that you give yourself at your birthday month. I'm big on that because that's the month that you will not forget.
That's good.
You know, I schedule all of my appointments around that month, and I encourage and I challenge all of my brothers, my friends, my family to just do that because you won't forget it. Because especially as you age, and especially we're in a traumatic space in the world system, not just in America, in the world system right now, and it has to have impact on our bodies. And we need to take care of ourselves because after the pandemic or the epidemics or whatever emics we're dealing with, we got to be okay physically.
I didn't know you was going to make a challenge of that because, like, my birthday this year, I did go to see my doctor, and I felt violated.
You felt? Yeah. Oh, yeah. You hit that age. You hit that age where they doing that violation.
Yeah. You know. But that was the reason that I chose a female doctor.
Okay. Well,
she's about this tall and she has little hands.
Well, the stuff that Jeff is going to talk to you about, you already prepared for that. So that's without further ado, let's go on ahead and talk about. Let's talk about that. Jeff, catch us up on the nutrition and wellness.
Yeah.
I've been a faithful participant with you guys since 2012, and I can't imagine my life without it. I feel extremely well. Yeah. I get a lot of folks say, "I can't believe you got a son that's 31," and I attribute it to the fact that I do the preventive maintenance to my body. Yes. You know, I make sure that I take care of those things. It handles the toxins, handles your even your spirit is better by doing some of the practices that they have at nutrition and wellness. But can you catch us up on what you guys are doing?
Well, first of all, thank you for having me, Lawrence, and you and your wife T have been an expression of such encouragement to our clinic and our clients. And as we go into any season of our life, and we were talking a little bit about decades with a young man who was just turning 30, and everything kind of changes. And I think you got such good wisdom about when you go in and you do a physical with your doctor. It's almost like you're looking at your flight instruments on your dashboard. Mm-hmm. You want to make sure that certain things are in line. And a lot of times when you go to the doctor, allopathic doctors will kind of graze over that because they're only looking for disease typically, and unless they can diagnose you with something, then they're probably not going to tell you that your vitamin D is too low if it's just barely above 30. But if your vitamin D is barely above 30, you're tired.
Yeah.
You're
right.
And I think anything, like we talked a little bit about the COVID.
Yeah.
It's exposing what our immune system's all about, because there's no vaccine, there's nothing that's going to keep you away from any virus if the terrain's bad.
Right.
And if the terrain is bad, you're going to get hit with something. And so that's what preventative medicine does to really help with good nutrients and just helping people realize that this is the only temple we got.
Yeah.
And you got to take really good care of it.
Yeah. Yeah. What I love about what you and Julie do over at Nutrition and Wellness is that it's full scale. You're not just getting one part of it. You're going through the nutrition part. You guys have the sunlit sauna there, that I love, one of my favorites. But take us through from an initial visit to you guys. What does that look like? Because I know a lot of my community are not aware of what happens in that type of place. So can you share that information? Because it's painless. It's not invasive as a lot of folks assume that it may be.
Right.
Could you share it?
Yeah, sure. And there's a couple different things that we do over there. The main thing we do is mainly my wife, Julie, who's a naturopath and nutritionist who founded the clinic, just based off really my brother and sister-in-law who got diagnosed with a really bad arthritic condition, and just helping the body heal naturally instead of doing some of the interventions that you might have to do when you get something diagnosed badly. And so when you come into the Nutrition and Wellness Center, we just sort of do a full assessment of your blood work. My wife does some other modalities too to assess how you are, and then tries to get you on some nutrient programs that'll really build that body back up. So she's really good at that. We also have some therapies there. We have sauna, we have neurofeedback, and then we have colon hydrotherapy that I know you're going to want to touch on because it's something that a lot of people are a little mystified about colon hydrotherapy because it's something that provides something that they're not comfortable with. Most people are comfortable going to the bathroom by themselves in their own little domain. And that's really what colon hydrotherapy, the way we do it, is called the angel of water. And the water is just gravity fed into your body through a medical device. That is a medical device. We have to have a medical doctor write a prescription for us to have this device and to get our supplies. But it's just like an enema times 30. And what it does is it just helps the body get hydrated, strengthened, and it cleans the toxins out. So what it does is it just really helps your body to kind of get re-energized. And I know, Lawrence, you can talk about it probably better than I can because,
I've been doing it.
You've been doing it for a little bit of a season. I remember when your wife, T, came in and, we were in a little smaller clinic then, and T came in and I had just left corporate America and started doing this, which I never would have imagined I'd be a colon hydrotherapist in all my years. I'm the most shy person in the world. I don't even like to go to the bathroom outside of my house. And here I am trying to educate people on colon health. But this system helped me so much because I had digestive issues and my brother-in-law helped me with it. And once I started feeling better, I just started doing more therapeutics and nutritional type programs. So.
I think my colon is pretty healthy. My colon speaks to me every day about 3 a.m. Yeah.
Well, that's good. That is a healthy colon.
I'm glad I'm in the room by myself.
Well, I'm glad you are too. And we're all in the room. Now, I will say, with the Angel of Water, you ain't in a room by yourself. It really feels like you're in a massage therapy. The way that the Nutrition and Wellness Center has it set up, it's very therapeutic. You get to choose they have a room of sound, and you get to choose the music that you want to listen to in that room. While you're there, the lights are dimmed down low. There's mist and aromatherapy going on at the same time.
It sounds really romantic.
That's a whole nother mannish conversation. I'm not even going to jump into that one.
I'll jump in on that a little bit because you talk about that. But I'll give you a little tip about the human body. When your body is hydrated and cleansed well, it does all the functions better.
Right.
So you can use your own imagination on that one. What it might do better. But it does everything better when your body's got that hydration.
But don't do that in that room.
Yeah, there you go.
I try to stay hydrated, I try to drink no less than 100 ounces of water a day. No less. On a regular basis, I go to the gym on a regular basis and I sweat profusely, So I'm constantly drinking water throughout the day and, when I'm putting the negative toxins in, I do realize that I have to flush those out.
How much of that do you put in per day?
A lot.
Fair answer.
But I try, consciously, I try and restrict smoking and drinking to the weekend. I've been smoking 20 years. And I've gotten to the point where I only smoke 1 or 2 sticks between Friday and Sunday. I used back in the day, I would smoke. I love to play poker. I could smoke 2 or 3 sticks in like a 6-hour period, playing poker, drinking, and smoking. Right, and I realize it's not that healthy. So, I understand if I'm gonna relax and enjoy this, I have to control it. I have to control what I ingest, put in my body. I can't allow it to control me.
Yeah, I think everybody, that's one thing we try to educate our clients on is moderation. Because sometimes people say, do you ever do, what do you eat? What do you do? How do you, and it's like we take it a little bit. We have our celebratory times too. So I think that's good.
Okay.
That you don't overindulge, because
Right.
anything that you overindulge in is going to cause a problem.
Problem somewhere, right?
Jeff
Right.
is so diplomatic. He does it so well.
Yeah.
Because I was about to give the disclaimer. I know it's kind of oxymoronic that we're talking about men's health and we're sitting here with cigars and fruit and sips in front of us, but it's what we do. But at least we're conscious and
Yes.
conscientious of the importance of men's health.
You have to be, because a lot of us aren't cerebral enough about caring for ourselves. A lot of us are emotionally driven, so we drink, smoke, or whatever off of emotion and habit. Yeah. And if you aren't cerebral about controlling yourself, your mind, your body, you begin to put things in that tear down your body over time. Your heart, your lungs, your liver, your kidneys, and it's not good.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And we're going to jump in. Harvey, as a therapist, I know that you are seeing folks on a regular basis dealing with all sorts of issues when it comes or pertains to mental health. Can you touch on that and also add in the effect that COVID this whole season has had on folks?
Okay, absolutely. For the most part, like mental illness is, in my opinion, one of the most misunderstood, sects of our, society today. Like the reality is that people don't quite understand it all. So people try, even in their best attempts, to do what they think is going to benefit them. So they'll, maybe get a therapist, or maybe even have the conscientiousness to have a person that they trust and respect to talk to about some of the things that they know are weighing them down. The issue with, COVID, as I see it, is that everyone is kind of battling the same things. The reality is that many of the things that we have all done to cope, right, which is our individual coping mechanisms, is our daily routine.
Right.
It's what we do when we go out of our house. And without, understanding of that, then when that is taken away, right, over a long period of time, you talked about it earlier, 7-8 months, we've been, in this pandemic and trying to, social distance and do all these things. However, nobody really gives thought to what we're losing.
Right.
What our kids are losing by not being able to go to school,
Right.
not having social lives. Like, it's really impacting people. So one of the things that you're seeing a huge uptick in is depression. Right. And that's been the mass. Like, for the most people, there's been more people have been more depressed about things because they don't control many of the things that are happening as a result of this pandemic.
Right.
And what you're seeing in young people, which is really something that really needs to put a highlight on, is suicide. A lot of young people are, with this generation, their entire existence is built on social, dynamics. It's built on social media, and not being able to be social is causing the type of depression that makes you feel like your whole life is ended.
Right.
And then this time of year is even because this is the normal time that folks who deal with depression kicks in
around the holidays,
and
seasonal affective disorders.
So it really, really kicks in right now. And I think it's important, especially for all people, but for men in particular, because that's what we are talking about, is that we pay attention to that, because for the first time, some folks are dealing with depression who've never acknowledged it or
Right.
recognized it
Or
before.
even knew it, right.
And they don't even realize that that's what they're dealing
Right.
with. I went to the doctor, did a checkup maybe about 4 weeks ago. For the first time in my life, my blood pressure was elevated. And of course, she's like, well, are you doing anything different? Yes, I'm stuck in the house. I can't go on vacation. I'm social distancing. So yes, I have stress, and I think that happens more often than not. But
Right.
we need to be aware of that and begin to, incorporate. I can't go to the gym like I used to go to the gym. I have to do things differently now than the way I was doing it before. And I know we're wrapping up for time, but it's important that we continue to take care of ourselves and take care of our loved ones. But first, put your own mask on, as they tell you when you're on an airplane, before you try to put on anybody
Right.
else's. And we're, as men, we are so accustomed to not taking care of ourselves and say, oh, I get to me later. But getting to me later may be
too late.
Yeah, may
Right.
be too late.
Oftentimes I think we're too concrete. So a lot of people are really attuned to a stomach ache, a sneeze, or cough, okay? Those are physical. But as Harv mentioned, the psychological, the mental is imperative. It's imperative that we begin to become attuned or astute to what's happening with us psychologically. With COVID, we're recluse. We're in the house more. So what are we going to do? If you drink socially, you're going to drink more. If you smoke, you're going to smoke more, or a combination of both. And that only increases the propensity for us to increase the probabilities that our health is going to decline much sooner. So we have to be more attuned to how we behave. You have to be more cerebral to what's happening with us, what you're doing in the room by yourself.
Yeah, and I think one of the things that we've seen with COVID and with the socialization, desocialization is people need, especially now as we come out of this, people want to talk, and they're listening differently.
Right.
Absolutely.
So the things that we're talking about today, they're gonna hear those different than they were a year ago.
Absolutely.
A year ago, we were rocking and rolling. We didn't even know what masks were.
Right.
So, and my son gave me a good point. He's 26. He lives on the West Coast, and we were talking about this. And he said, "I know more people that have committed suicide than have had COVID." That's pretty scary from the mental health capacity of it. These younger kids, and you can say it's 30 and below. Can you imagine being 12 and not being told you can't go see your best friend?
Yeah,
Right.
it's a different day.
That's tough.
It's a different day.
So
It's
we
gonna
have to all be patient with it.
It's going to force us to be more cognizant of how we behave. I think COVID is causing us to understand ourselves more. Like we're mentioning the depression, but there's also been an uptick in relationship issues as well.
Oh, for sure. Absolutely. You're closer to your loved ones now than you've ever been on a regular period basis. So everything is going to come out, and you got to deal with it.
Yeah. Husband and wives are having more issues because they're at home more than they've ever been. You aren't able to get up and just go to work and go about your own. She's in one room doing her Zoom call and you're in the other. But you meet in the kitchen to get something to eat, and you're around each other all the time. And some people are really coming to the understanding, well, maybe I don't like you as much as I thought I did when I married you 20 years ago. That sounds funny, but it's true.
It's true. But it does happen.
It's true. But like when that happens, you have to understand, okay, am I allowing my emotions to take control of my inner environment and my external environment? And you have to be cerebral, What am I experiencing? Oh, I'm inside all the time. So it's displaced anger and frustration. I can't take it out on her. It's not that I don't like her. It's the fact that I'm here all the time now. Just be more cerebral about it.
Absolutely. And with that being said, be more cerebral, identify what the underlying issues are, and address those. Jeff, thank you for being here with us. Will you come back and hang out with us again and bring more information?
Whenever you're in the clinic, whenever I'm in your presence, Lawrence, it's an amazing time. So I always enjoy my time with you.
Well, I appreciate that. Harv, thank you for coming from a therapist perspective on mental health. Men's health is such an important topic that we don't talk about enough. So I'm excited that we are bringing it to the table now. Thank y'all. I really appreciate it. All right.
Brotherhood, I could go on about the brotherhood all day because, I have 3 brothers of my own, but it's different when you move to another state and you meet a group of fellas that you could talk about anything with. You feel what I'm saying? when I lost my dad, I ain't never been through that before. So I couldn't talk to my brothers and them about it because they going through the same thing I'm going through. But with the brotherhood, you got fellas that been through that and they overcame that, and you know, and they dealt with it a certain way, so they gave me pointers on, you know, how I feel and stuff like that. You know, so the brotherhood, I love them. I love all of them, man. You know, you could just talk to them about anything. And I think everybody should get in some type of brotherhood, you know, at least have someone you could go talk to when things ain't going wrong in your life. If you feel a certain way, you know I could call any one of them up, be like, hey, I need to pull up on you to run something by you, and they'll be there for me, and vice versa, and I'm there for them. So the brotherhood, I love it, man. I wouldn't change none of it for the world, man. And that's managed. I know.